Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the calling in Prague and how it went, and later I'm going to be talking about my impressions on Sealed, and I'm going to tell you what my opinions are on Sealed. If you want, you can look at it, you can learn it, and maybe you win your playlist with that. So with that out of the way, let us begin. So everything started at on Friday about like 3 a.m. where I went to take the bus, and after 5 painfully hours in the bus, I got to the world premiere and I got like to crack some packs. You can see my pulls. Um, I actually did a video. I'm not pull nothing that special. Um, yeah. So overall, it was pretty cool. I played Osili in the first 2 rounds. I went 1 and 2. The first round was I did not read my card properly, so I did some errors. And then for the last round, as I talking with Max Line, I switched to Siggy, and that went like well, I won like easily. So the next side event, I think I started playing. I played Siggy. I think I went like 3-on-1. I think we could like double check. Pretty sure it was like a 3-on-1. No, wrong event. Here, this one. Yeah, 3-on-1. I think I no, I did not split with this guy. I mean, this was not double tick, so it was like whatever, like 150 ticks. Um, but he destroyed me. He had like a super strong Auxilio deck, I think, and I did not draw like all my prevention stuff. And then the last side event, I played Aurora, and I won. This was like my first time playing Aurora. It was pretty nice. And then like for the calling, was honestly pretty cool. You can see I started like 7-0. So these first 6 matches were all Aurora mirror matches. I think these 3 I won with the help of a card I'm going to be talking later. And this one was actually totally winnable. I just misplayed it. I think I took too much damage to try to do something one turn, and it backfired. Yeah, so then after that, I got into like the pot number 1, where I drew here. So the thing is, we had no time. My opponent did like a mistake. Because of that mistake, I would have won but since we had no time, I didn't win, so we drew. And then last calling Prague champion. Then this guy, and then pot 2 was catastrophe. So you can see day 1, fourth place, pretty nice tap on the shoulder. Day 2, first spot, I also drafted Aurora. Thing is, I know it's not like in the best place for Aurora. I tried like to force it a little bit, and I went to more like a fatigue angle, and it actually worked. It was a pretty strong deck, I must say. Like the one draw messed up a little bit with me, but I managed to come back. And then like the second draft was just like a catastrophe. So I tried to recreate the same deck that I got here, but I kinda did not got all the cards I wanted because we were like 4 Auroras in the pot, so not cool, not cool. Yeah, so yeah, I forgot. Like these 2 games I lost because I did like horrible mistakes. Like here, I tried to be a bit more aggressive instead of like blocking more. Like again, the same thing that happened here. And I spent a flow to make an embodiment to attack on later turn, and then turns out my opponent goes like the one thing that pings, and I have no spell void to prevent it, so I just take a lot of damage out of thin air. And also I took the damage from like this new Mavs guys that on damage just reflow the little Steel Arcane, so I took like 4 damage out of that as well. So not nice, not nice. Here I forgot like to create a flow of the flow aura. So I think if I played these 2 games cleanly, I would have top 8. Like the only game that did not feel like good to win was this one, since my opponent had like a couple of the toll attacks, so he managed to sneak in some good damage. And this game, if my opponent does not misplay, I think he should have won. But yeah, yeah. So after that, I was just like chilling. Some I play like some promo card events. Play with Ira. Play against two Briars. Lost against two Briars. Like I break 3 out of 6 hands, and here I got like super baited. I knew what I had to do, but I wasn't confident enough that it would work, and so I didn't did it, and it should have worked. So that wasn't me. And then some nice 3-0 into splits for the last event. Just play more Aurora, like in total. I play like calling Aurora 14 rounds Aurora, plus 8 round plus other 8 rounds from side events, so 22 rounds of Aurora. I must say I enjoyed the deck a lot. Um, yeah, so super deck, super calling, super events. You can see here the pools I had. Like the first 2 events, I pulled like 2 of this, so I was eager to finish the playset. And the calling, I pulled this, and the other side event, I pulled this. So I was like honestly pretty happy with my pulls. And yeah, at the end, just enjoying the day with my good friend Johannes. Yeah, that was it for the story in Prague. We just immediately went back to Germany, suffering another 5 hours in the bus. Arrived like at 3 a.m. Yeah, so I was already up enough in Prague, so I didn't look at the city. So I just went, go play, go back. But yeah, and now let's go for what maybe most of the people are here. Let's talk about the set. So, and with the story out of the way, let's get into what most people are waiting for. Probably going to be like me talking about the set. So these are not absolutes. These are my first impressions about playing the set. So let's get into this. So for the pre-release, you're going to be getting one of this. This is a promo pack where you get like all the promos in the set. So let's talk about first the macro omens of Arcana. So each hero starts with a lightning blow. It's one of these small things here. So lightning flow have spell void, meaning you can use them to avoid some pings, and you can also see it as effective health if you manage to stack a bunch of those. So the heroes in the set. Wait, let's first talk about this. So these are some equipment that you have access to at the pre-release. I personally really like them, since you can use them to stop like a ping on a turn that you're not planning to use your hero. I personally like going like 2 of these and one of the pay 2 and one of the seekers, because that way you can pitch like a blue card, get the secret effect, and you have these 2 like any at the moment you want. And you can also play like the special arms for each hero, but depending on the case, you don't really want them. And then this beautiful looking card. It's honestly one of the best looking cards I have ever seen. Like these Marvel cards are awesome. So this is just a 1 for 5. Mostly it's probably going to be used like a 1 for 5. In Aurora, you can go like embodiment, attack for 1 for 5, and then swing of Scorpio. But sometimes it also creates flow and prevents one damage. So with that out of the way, let's talk now about the heroes. Of course, you have Aurora, Lightning Roomblade, Auxilio, Lightning Wizard, and Siggy, Lightning Illusionist. So they all deal arcane damage. I would say Aurora does the least, Siggy middle field, and Auxilio deals the most arcane damage. So they all have pretty different playstyles, but I think before we talk about the playstyles, we need to look at the lightning pool, because that's like the pool all these heroes are going to be using. So we go down here and we see the lightning pool. First of all, the equipments, as mentioned before, you want to play one. I prefer only to play one of these because the math is a bit bad if you play multiples. Most heroes I prefer the ropes, and second I like the this ones, but this ones feel like best on Aurora, since you are spending like 2 and a flow to do embodiments, and here you basically like save the middleman and pay just like 2 and prevent 1 to get the flow. But with this one, you can also have the embodiment, the flow that helps for later if you want to spell Void some Arcane. So there are a couple of Majestics. I pulled this one twice for some seals and this one the Calling. I never played this one. They don't feel like bombs, you know. In other sets, if you pull like a Conqueror, you're like conquer the shit out of your opponent, you know, like 8s go again into like another big attack. This one's feel decent but not too strong. This card has like some small combos with the cost 1 instance. Like if we scroll a bit down, we have like this Storm Shard, Storm Shattered, and Storm Whirl. Not the best card, but you can sneak something. Also, we have the, where is it? Can't find the card. Oh, the Livewire Press. So you can also combat with the Livewire Press. Not great. Flow Shard Elemental, also not great. It's like bad fatigue math. You create a flow, but you spend that card. Vision of Orbits, 3/7, always been good. And these ones are like the best ones, I would say. Like Meteorite, I personally like Meteorite the most because being like 1 cost is going to be like the most flexible out of them, because you can throw it like as a 1 cost or like a 2 card 7. This one's not that flexible. It's mostly only going to be like a 2 card 7, and in that case I would prefer just like the Meteoric Rise. But yeah, these ones are like the strongest cards. If you got them, play them, pretty good. So we have some Go Again. The card is not that bad, but you require like tempo and you need to do something else with the 2 extra resources. And this card is also like super good, not because of the effect, but because of like it blocks 3. It creates a flow. If you have the Storm Shard, is like pretty good because you can go like attack, activate Storm Shard, goes to 9. This is a nice turn 0 play because your opponent, if they respect a Storm Shard, is going to be trading 1 card for 3 cards of their deck. If they not respect the Storm Shard, you maybe get the effect, but you're always getting 2 cards of their deck if you throw this on turn 0. Then we have some premium blues. In the blue base, you always want to try to get like some premium blues. You can see the block 3s. Try to always go for the block 3s in sealed. I personally managed to get my deck mostly of block 3s. So important card is Storm Shard. Storm Shard also works in Scorpio, so if you're playing Aurora, you can use Storm Shard to just finish your opponents in that case. With some 1 extra arcane. Now for some like niche cards, these cards are like some of the best sideboard against Ocilio. This one in particularly, you arsenal this, you wait for late game when Ocilio stacks something, like if he comes like for 6 arcane, you flip this pitch to blue card and you win from that spot. Yeah, so now let's go to the hero specifically. Let's start with Siggy. I would say like the best card in Siggy is definitely Corrosive Spaydust. This is, so in the set it's a bit hard to play on rate, and this is a card that deals arcane damage and prevents 4 damage. And in some cases you can also use like the Aphrodisias, so you are like blinking this, dealing 2 arcane damage because it also gets destroyed eventually, and dealing 2 damage to Aphrodisias. It's like the best card. Another of the best cards of Siggy is Blink of an Eye. So these cards basically activate your fragments, and you can combine it with the Auric Shard just to push for 11. I mean, you lose 2, but you are pushing a lot of damage. You're going to, if you play the Auric Shard, you go to 8, then you go to 12 because you blink it, and you lose 2, so you get to 10. You go to 10 on reactions. It's pretty good pushing damage. Then you have like the life gain one. It's decent. The ping one is pretty good. So the dualities, I honestly really like the blue ones because in late game you can always snipe your opponents out of nothing, you know. If your opponent is like chilling, you go like duality and finish the game on the spot. So I really like dualities in all heroes. Otherwise with Siggy, I really like going into auras that leave me with low even. meaning, for example, Circular Flow Tide. It's a card that you can play. You can blink it, and you can activate Aphrodisias, not on the same turn because it costs 1, but it leaves a flow when it leaves, so it's like flow neutral, so you're not losing flows. It's the same with Digital Astroflow. This one you can do immediately. You can play it, blink it, and deal 2 damage with another blue card. It's really underrated because you are basically having like 2-3 with the Arcane and the Flow, but you can like snipe some damage on turn 0 or when your opponent is not doing anything. Like Illusionist, the classic Illusionist, you always wait for your time to do something. You go do some damage, double some board, and then when you find your correct moment, you go all in. So this one also allows you to go like play an aura, blink it, and deal 2 with this card and like another blue card. This one's also pretty good. It gives you like a lightning flow token, so you are gaining like 1 extra value immediately. This one I like a lot, but mostly only the red ones. Like the blue ones are also fine-ish, because you can go for 0 for 5, and if you have another 0 for 5, you just wait. If it gets blocked, then you throw the other card and you do like a 2-card 8. If it doesn't get blocked, then you just did a 1-card 5, and that's awesome in this format. A special card is Clear Conscience. So this card, on hit, each hero puts a card on the bottom of the deck and creates a ponder. If you don't have cards, you carry the ponders. You basically draw 1 card for free. Ponders in the set are a bit awkward because there are a lot of cards you don't really want to put in Arsenal, so just be careful with that. And Ziggy also has some nice finisher in the form of Heroic Authority. It has Dominate, so it's only going to be coming for like for 5 most of the time, but sometimes that's good enough to finish the game. And the equipment for Ziggy is the Finger Fragmentation. I like popping this on turn 0 because sometimes it's a bit weird to get like 2 extra resources to activate the effect. So if I can sneak 2 extra damage into 0, then I'm happy with that. So now let's go for Aurora. Easy effect: tap, destroy a lightning flow, create an embodiment of lightning. Pretty straightforward effect. So our weapon Scorpio is on tap, attack for 1, and on hit deals 1 damage. And only you can activate this if you have like a lightning attack, meaning you can't break the chain. So Aurora has, I think, the best Majestic in here in the set. Is Tempest's Kiss. If you can pair it with the arms, if not this ones, with the where's the arm? Oh, here, right next to it. So you can go like this with Go Again. It pings for 1. Your opponent's mostly going to Spellboy to do something with that, and then block 6. But then you activate this, pay 1. So this goes 2. You have 1 floating. You pay 1. Deal an Arcane, and your opponent is forced to respond. Otherwise, it's going to have this card in the card, and then you can come with Scorp for free. Yeah. So I would say Aurora has access to a lot of 3 blocks, since a lot of these cards like have 3 blocks. The most powerful common card is this. This is like a 0 for 4. Your opponent is forced to interact with it. Otherwise, just get free Go Again, and you get to swing Scorpion for free. Again, the duality, it's for late game. This one's decently because it's a way you can convert your hand, and you get a flow. And the quick successions are also, in my opinion, the blue one is one of the best blue ones you could get. It's a reason why it blocks 2, because in late game you can use it to like Go Again, 1 damage, and also swing a Scorpio. So this one is a bit of a trap, I think, because most of the time your opponent is going to have a way to prevent it. But if your opponent has not a way to prevent it, just GG, my friend. Sting Sprite, a threat for late game, because you can pitch it, and if your opponent ever goes to 1, this with the combination of the duality, you can just finish the game round over. So there's also this set of yellow cards. These ones are basically red cards because so usually cards either ping 1 or game +1. These ones do both, and they have pretty crazy effects. So unbundling of lining, recycling of instants, and create and ponder. So yeah, one more thing to note is this is the best sideboard against a mirror match in Aurora. So best case scenario, you block with this, then you block this card specifically. This says on hit deal 1 arcane. So you let them hit you for 1, they deal 1 arcane, this thing hits it, and then they swing with Scorpio, they hit you, they deal 1 arcane, this thing hits it. So you just had like a 0 for 5 basically, and that's insane. Another card that I really liked was this one, Leech Memory. So with this card, you can try to go to a fatigue angle. That's what I did in the first pot, and that's what I wanted to do in the second pot, but there were way too many Auroras to like actually get some decent stuff, and I think I misplayed a bit. Yeah. So because this thing says each time, whenever it deals damage to a hero, you may put an attack action for a grabber on the bottom of your deck. So say you swing with one of the ones that, I mean, the yellow ones are like the best thing because you can deal swing. So if, let's say you already have embodiment, you swing with this, deal 1 arcane. If it does damage, you recycle something. It counts for 7, meaning it's a breakpoint. So you can put another one, and you have 1 floating. Guess what? You have Snap Fingers, meaning you can pay the last resource and put another card on bottom. So like that, you can put like 3 cards on the bottom, you know? And wow. So in the calling, in the first draft, I had all 3 of this, so I was cooking, I must say. But yeah, same with Leech Vitality and Leech Renown. This one is, I must say, this it's like the worst of them all because sometimes your opponent can just like spell void your arcane. So not that great. So that was Aurora. And now let's talk about Auxilio. So Auxilio was the one I played the least. I just didn't connect with a lot of that. So Auxilio has a lot of cards that deal arcane. Sometimes you go count how much arcane you have in your deck. If you have like enough arcane, and you can play around like prevention effects. They brush off. Where is brush off? Brush off. Or maybe this thing. Or I can't find the card. Or this one. Calm Bale of Voltim. So this one also a nice cyber card against Auxilio. Yeah, so if you can play around those cards and have enough arcane in your deck, you can just kill your opponent straight up. So Auxilio's effect is pay 1, tap the Trap Flow, create the Ponder token. If you discard an instant, you can play this turn. You must discard a card, but if you don't have a card to discard, you just create a Ponder token. So you pay 1, destroy flow for a Ponder. So as mentioned before, Ponders are a bit awkward in the set because you can draw like some trash that you have to put in your deck. For example, you can like the first Ponder I resolved, I think I drew like one of these blue cards, and I thought to myself like, oh man, this thing sucks. I don't want to put this in my arsenal. You know, it's just negative value. So you need to watch out for fatigue because you don't have that many physical attacks, meaning your opponent is not going to have to block you a lot. Yeah, so and you try like to combo your cards. So with Auxilio, you can go Auxilio, discard like a 2-cost, activate the weapon, and swing Auxilio. The best card for that, I can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? Brother, where is the? Oh yeah, this one. I think this one is the best card that synergizes with Auxilio. Because you discard, you prevent 4 in your opponent's turn, you deal 2 damage, so it's 2-6 on rate. And most of the time your opponent can't really do something about the like the damage, and you can also prevent arcane with that. A card that I think that's super bad, but it's actually decent in Auxilio is this one. So this card sucks, specifically the red. It sucks everywhere else besides in Auxilio. Because you can play it prep, and then you can come with one of these 1 costs, for example, Meteoric Impact. And so you not only trigger your weapon, but you are also triggering the Starfall effect. So this one does 5, 6, and the way arcane damage works with this is arcane damage is already being applied, so it always has this +1. So you're dealing 7 arcane. 2 card 7 is pretty good already. 2 card 7 for arcane is awesome, because your opponent is most likely going to be eating at least 5 of that damage. So that's what you aim to do. Yeah, otherwise some cards are a bit awkward, because they cost 1, and I have a feeling Auxilio doesn't have like a true way to convert like that to extra value. A card that I was using was this one, this Stellar Guide Light, because that way I could convert the 2, and I have a feeling that Auxilio, like the flows for Auxilio, are not that relevant as for other heroes. So, but yeah, back to Auxilio. Oh yeah, the first round of the Core Premier got scammed by this card, because this card untapped the Staff on Resolution, and my opponent killed me for 3 damage with this, so watch out about that. So the last cards are the generic Wizard cards, pretty strong cards. So we have Ether Sling, go again, so we can do this, deal 4 arcane, and then play like attack or deal more arcane. This one's like a 0-4, pretty good, you know, on rate. Turn to Mindfire, 2/5 below rate, but you get the Ponder, so it's basically 1 card 5. If your Ponder doesn't draws like a bad card. Yeah. So I personally really enjoy playing Aurora. You could do this playstyle where you can block a lot, because a lot of your cards block for 3, but you need to watch out for arcane. So in that case, you need cards like Brush Off and Convoy of Volthaven, and of course you need to have the Spellvane Sigil in your arsenal to prevent the tall things about Auxilio. I also enjoyed the D-React, because having D-React in arsenal is always like a nice way to regain tempo, because you can choose if you want to play like that hand. Yeah, that was all for the pre-release. I can show you my Colin deck. Just give me one. Oh, forgot one thing. This card is a trap. It's like the biggest trap it is, because if you swing for 4, your opponent blocks 3, and if they have a prevent 1 equipment, you can never use this. So please don't use this card. It's like really bad. You're just going to get screwed. Maybe you can combine with this, but otherwise it's a hard pill to swallow. So now I'm going to be explaining to you how you win your pre-release, mostly playing Aurora. So this was my calling deck. You can see there's nothing like truly special. 1 Majestic, no true bombs. But if you look at the deck, pretty good. You can see the deck blocks a lot, and it blocks like pretty good. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 block 3s. So this was a deck I felt I could just wait for my time. I had these 2 Storm Shards just like to get some kills on the late game. I have the best card in the deck was probably the Meteoric Rise. It's just like super good. This was my sideboard. This one I played it for the first round. It was so bad I swapped it immediately for the second Storm Shard. This one won me like the game against Auxilio, and yes, awesome. So the King Cunning, it dealt magic against the mirror match. If you got this, played it in the mirror match. Play them Just don't forget to break the chain if it gets played against you. This one is also my Auxilio sideboard, because Auxilio sometimes leaves you with like a lot of cards if he only shoots Arcane, so you need to find a way to like swing a lot. Yeah, so if you can see, the deck is absolutely nothing special. So you just need to find your like the correct time where you're supposed to attack. Dualities, I won one game with Duality. I mean, I could have won the game anyway, but the Duality won one of those games. Just look at this. So when you open your pack, look at your blue base first. I think blue base is pretty important what you have. If you have like a lot of these trashy blue cards that don't block, you're going to be having some trouble, because at some point we're going to reach late game, and you're probably just going to get smacked if you draw like a full hand of no blocks. Also, the red base, you need to look at the bumps. You know, as mentioned before, there are some cards that are super strong for like Tiggy. In this case, being the Beak of an Eye, Corrosive Space Dust, and the Auric Shard. With Auxilio, you look at the spells that are capable to get like for a lot of damage. But for Aurora, I think you don't need like bombs per se. In the Lightning Room they play, like the only card I would say that's like an absolute bomb is like the Kill. Otherwise, where is it? This guy is like the best card, but has counterplay. So if you're going to play Aurora, just try to play the most cards that actually block, and wait for a moment. You know, you are eventually going to get a moment where you can like do things. Because as you can see, I didn't even have like the arms to do the combo with the Leech Vitality. It's just like a card that blocks 3, and I can combo it with like a pinger. So yeah, so I personally really like to play Aurora. I can just block, wait to do my thing, wait until I have like a good card. Try not wasting your cards, because cards are pretty important. You only get 30, so if you waste, let's say this, to see if you can bait a card from your opponent, just don't do it. Just block with it. But yeah, so those were my initial thoughts on the set. One of the best limited sets, I think. None of the decks feel like it's way too strong. But if you don't know what to build, if you don't have like the strong cards from your heroes, just go for Aurora, put out a lot of block 3s, and roll with it. But yeah, so that was it for me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and see you on Sunday for the 9th episode of Flesh and Blood No Budget. Sorry there was no last week, but going Prague was a bit more important.